This is the fourth industrial revolution that Jen talked about. Ironic that Jensen stock is the worst acting, and I think that is something that could turn.
Jim Cramer just dropped 4 reasons why you might want to dump your Nvidia stock.
Because this report and the information about Google striking a deal with Meta, we had Lisa Su on this week. Meta, AMD. None of those conversations are having much to do with Nvidia.
There it is. Reason number 1, Google is striking a deal with Meta, and Nvidia is nowhere in that conversation. Lisa Su, the chief executive of Advanced Micro Devices, was getting major airtime the same week, and the key phrase Cramer used was this: none of those conversations are having much to do with Nvidia. Let that sink in for a second. The 2 biggest spenders in artificial intelligence, Google and Meta, are actively sitting down together and making deals that don't involve Nvidia. That's not a small thing. That's the largest technology companies on the planet quietly starting to wrap around the company that everyone assumed was untouchable.
Nvidia has everyone on allocation. It does not have enough chips. So, don't cry for me, Nvidia. Buy Nvidia. Don't cry. Buy.
Now here's where it gets interesting, because Cramer immediately follows that warning with buy Nvidia. So which is it? Is this a sell signal or a buy signal? That's exactly the tension we're going to unpack. Because buried inside that buy Nvidia call is actually reason number 2 to be worried. And most people completely missed it. Cramer said Nvidia has everyone on allocation. It does not have enough chips. Now on the surface that sounds like a great problem to have. Massive demand, not enough supply. That usually means a company is printing money, and Nvidia is. But think about what happens next. When your most powerful customers, Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, cannot get enough of your product, they don't just wait around. They get motivated. They hire engineers, they start building their own solution. And that is exactly what is happening right now across Silicon Valley.
Tranium's got supply, Google has supply, Nvidia maybe not as much supply as you think because they're giving it to everybody.
Reason number 2 in plain sight. Amazon has its own custom chip called Tranium. Google has its own custom hardware with plenty of supply. And Nvidia is spreading itself so thin, trying to supply everyone, that its biggest customers are already looking elsewhere. This is the allocation crisis that nobody is talking about loudly enough. When you can't deliver, your customers stop waiting and start building. And once a company like Google or Amazon builds its own chip infrastructure, they don't come back. Now we're halfway through the reasons Cramer laid out, and this is where the story gets really uncomfortable for Nvidia investors. Because reason number 3 goes beyond supply problems and competitor deals. It goes to the very foundation of why people believed in the Nvidia trade in the first place.
I really liken Nvidia to the 1849 gold rush, and they're selling picks and shovels. It didn't really matter who found gold in California. The guys and the girls selling picks and shovels made a lot of money.
This analogy is the reason so many investors fell in love with Nvidia. During the California gold rush, most people chasing gold came home with nothing. But the people selling equipment, the picks, the shovels, the boots, they made consistent money regardless of who struck it rich. Nvidia has been that company in the artificial intelligence era. It doesn't matter if OpenAI wins, or Google wins, or Meta wins. They all need Nvidia's chips to build their models. Nvidia collects on every side, or at least that was the story.
The picks and shovel phase over, because once everyone bought a pick and everyone bought a shovel, that was it, right? It feels like they've moved on to, hey, we found some gold, now we need to know where to store it.
And there it is. Reason number 3. Is the picks and shovels phase actually over? Because at some point every major artificial intelligence company will have bought enough chips to run their current operations. When that moment arrives, the explosive growth that powered Nvidia's rise starts to decelerate. The question is not whether that moment comes, it's whether it's already here. And the fact that this question is being asked openly on national television by serious analysts tells you everything about where we are in this cycle. But wait, because there is still one more reason. And honestly, this one might be the most dangerous of all for anyone sitting on a large Nvidia position right now.
Most people are over-concentrated in AI. They only own the chips.
Right.
They only own Nvidia.
Right.
They're not owning any of the other folks.
Reason number 4, and this one is about you, not Nvidia. The smartest money in the room is already diversifying away from a single chip stock and spreading across the entire artificial intelligence ecosystem. Power generation, cooling systems, data center, infrastructure, competing chip makers. If your entire artificial intelligence investment is sitting in one stock, you are not investing in a theme. You are making a concentrated single bet. And concentrated single bets, no matter how strong the company, carry enormous risk when the narrative shifts even slightly.
The only people making money in this really are Nvidia. The other companies are looking at, well, we're going to make money Nvidia's making money. I think what happens is when more people make money, Nvidia goes up and continues to go up. But the earnings are growing.
And here is where we have to be honest about the other side of this argument. Right now, in the entire artificial intelligence ecosystem, Nvidia is the only company definitively making money. Every other player is still spending, still building, still betting that returns are coming, which means the artificial intelligence spending wave is not stopping anytime soon, because nobody has won yet. And as long as companies are still competing to win the artificial intelligence race, they will keep buying chips. And right now, the best chips still come from Nvidia.
Nvidia is for sale. We know that. We know that I'm sure Salesforce gives up everything that it had yesterday because it's software.
Yeah. So what did Cramer actually say? When he called Nvidia for sale, he wasn't being bearish. In trader language, for sale means the stock is available at a discount after a pullback. He was saying the market is punishing Nvidia unfairly, lumping it in with software companies like Salesforce that have completely different problems. His actual message was that the sell-off is creating an opportunity, not a reason to run. But here's the truth that sits underneath all four of these reasons. The easy part of the Nvidia trade is behind us. The first wave, where every artificial intelligence company desperately needed chips, and Nvidia was the only real option, that wave has largely played out. What comes next is more complicated. Competitors are closing the gap. Customers are building alternatives. The picks and shovels phase is maturing, and the investors who made the most money were the ones who understood the story early and thought carefully about when the story changes. That doesn't mean sell everything today. It means pay attention. Because the four signals Cramer laid out, the meta deal, the allocation crisis, the end of the picks and shovels phase, and the concentration risk, those are not noise. Those are the early warning signs that the trade is evolving, and the investors who act on evolving information are the ones who keep their gains.